Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. What's your guys' opinion on ghosts? Some people are real creeped out by that shit. They're real weird about it. They're real superstitious and they believe heavily in this fantasy of ghosts. I'm not sure where I stand with it. I've had an experience which I'll tell you about, and you guys can give me your reaction and tell me your ghost stories if you have any. But see, here's the flaw with the idea of ghosts. If you think about all the people that have ever died in the history of death, there would be a lot of ghosts. So then you say, well, some of them went to heaven. Okay, so we're talking about Christianity. Some of them went to heaven, some of them went to hell. Right? I mean, not everybody believes that crap, but there's a lot of Christians, they believe it. Even if that's the case, just for the sake of argument, some of them went to heaven, some of them went to hell, and the rest are in purgatory, right? That's still a lot of ghosts. It would be standing room only. Right now in this room, their ghosts would be smashed in on each other. Every time someone dies, there'd be more ghosts. It would just be too many ghosts. People don't care about ghosts anymore. You know what people care about now is aliens and Bigfoot. There used to be a lot of ghost shows. Now there's tons of Bigfoot shows. I'll tell you my ghost story because I don't have any Bigfoot stories. I know a guy who looked like Bigfoot, but he'd be offended if I said that. I've owned a motorcycle shop for many years. We had a ghost in our shop. At least that's what I thought it was. It started one day when I had a customer who came to the shop, a tattoo artist from Palm Coast, Florida. And he wanted us to do a project for his bike. And I didn't want to do his project. He was watching Orange County Choppers a lot, and he wanted this Batman-themed bike, this comic book bike, a Batman bike. And you say, well, what's wrong with that, Sky? And money is money. There's a certain point when you just got to say, I don't want to do it, because it's your reputation. And you build a stupid bike, and I've had this done before, where I've built really stupid bikes for people. I'm just your whore. I'll just do whatever you want. Whatever dumb fucking shit you want, I'll build it for you because I need to pay my bills. And then I build you this dumbass chopper and you ride around town. And at every bike night, everywhere you go, every bar, you're like, Sky built it. Sky did it. This is Sky from Sinister. Shut the fuck up. I'm so embarrassed by you and your bike. So I had to take some control after a while as a shop owner and realize, you know, I look at this as an art form. It's a form of self-expression. I'm going to do what I want to do. And if I don't like your project, if I think it's stupid, hit the road, Jack. So that was the conversation that we were having. We were talking out front of the shop, and the shop had this is the old shop that we used to have. The shop that I've been in for the last 10 years, I guess, it's a smaller shop, but I own it. So it's a big difference between renting a warehouse and owning your own building. I feel like George Jefferson. I moved on up. It's a big step to own the property. But the old shop was bigger. And it had a showroom out front, and it had a giant production area in the back, and then a separate office upstairs, 2 offices, which worked out good for me and my business partner. We could both have our own separate offices on the other side of the building if we get sick of each other. And I'm sitting there talking with this cat about his stupid Batman bike. I told him to go to Mad Creations down the road, and maybe Brian, if you watch my channel, I don't know if you guys built him that bike, but he came back one day, like a few months later, trying to show off his Batman bike, and I got a little bit of a giggle out of it. And I don't know who built it for him. Somebody did. Wasn't me. Thank God. And as we were talking out front, and he's trying to convince me into doing this, and rather annoyed with me that I'm sending him away. And he's like, well, why not? You know, he's trying to plead his case, and he's annoyed that I don't want to do it. Thinks I'm kind of some stuck-up jerk. Maybe I am, I don't know. I'm allowed to not want to do your bike. You can't force me to do a Batman bike. This little gray, it was like a Nissan Sentra or some kind of Hyundai, you know, some stupid ass car, pulls up. 2 people in the front in the passenger seat, the driver's seat, and the passenger seat. Look like older people, a husband and wife. And then an old lady jumps out of the back seat. You know, she gets out of the back seat on the passenger side. She says goodbye to the people in the car. They drive off like normal, back out to the street, to the light, and just keep on going. And she comes into the showroom, and I'm standing right in the doorway, and she comes up to me and tries to wedge past me, and I break off the conversation with the Batman bike, and I say, "Can I help you, ma'am?" And she says, "No, I just like to look around your showroom." Okay. So I'm talking with the dude about his Batman bike. I'm talking with Bruce Wayne about his fucking Batman bike. And a little bit of time goes by. I don't know how long, but it felt long enough to where that little tiny showroom was not big. I was wondering what happened to that old lady. And I asked him, and I was like, "Dude, did you see that old lady come back out? It's been some time." And he's like, "No, she's still in there." So I said, "I'm going to go try to find her." And he was like, "Well, I'll follow you because this is interesting. I wonder what happened to her." And I was a little bit worried and wondering, did I misread her? She seemed like a nice old lady. Maybe she's up to no good. I don't know. Something's wrong though. She wasn't in the showroom. I go back and my office was right off the showroom. Nobody in there. I literally expected her to be hiding behind the door. When I prepared myself to see if nobody was in the office. Nobody was in the showroom. So she must have wandered back to the shop, to the production area. So I go back there. Bruce Wayne, with his Batman project, he follows me. He's kind of behind me the whole time, wondering, where is she? We both creep around that whole shop. I was at a loss. There's a separate, you go around the whole production area. I had a separate little parts room way in the back of the shop. I looked everywhere, upstairs, everywhere, in the bathroom, everywhere. She was nowhere to be found. I figured that the only spot she can be is in this parts room. She's back in the parts room somewhere. I got this old bitch. Something's weird, something's up with her. I'm definitely convinced now she's got this is some crazy bitch. Because normal people don't do this, and she's back in that room, and I'm trying to think of how I'm going to handle this. I go back in there, and there's nothing in there. I had a giant big compressor. I look behind the compressor. I totally thought she was going to be behind the compressor. 100% in my head. She's back there behind that compressor. Nobody. The tattoo artist, Bruce Wayne, this little Batman project, he's getting weirded out by the whole thing, and he's just like, "I wonder where she went." And I was like, "I don't know, man." And he said, "She's a ghost." And he gets on this whole ghost fucking trip, and his eyes are all wide. He's like, "She's a ghost. It's a ghost, man." And he's like, "I'm out of here. I'm taking off." And he takes off. He's gone. I never saw him again until he finished his Batman project. So I thought the whole experience was weird. And I shut the shop down later that day, and I was just like, I hope that old bitch isn't in here somewhere. We'll find out in the morning. I don't know. That was just so weird. And there was no other way she could have gotten out of the shop. We had a roll-up garage bay that was locked, and an old lady, no way she'd be able to get that up. And we would have heard it. It's loud. So, starting from that next day, all the way for the next 5 years, every single day when I was back in that production area working on a bike, just a big giant open warehouse with bikes on lifts. Every single day when I was back there, I would see in the corner of my eye, just in my peripheral vision, that old lady standing at the top of the stairs. Remember I told you we had that separate office that my partner would use. At the top of the landing, just standing there, looking out. And I would see her clear as day. I'd sit there looking at a bike, I could see that old bitch standing right there. And I would look over, nothing. Every day I saw that shit. Finally we moved, we got a new shop. I don't ever see her in the new shop. I've never had any ghosts in the new shop. Thanks for watching.